All right, another weekly recap. And as I mentioned in the last one, I'm trying to get caught up to speed. So this is actually the end of the week that I actually just lifted on. So I'm hoping to put this up over the weekend or Monday and then be these real time, putting them up on Friday or Saturday. So at the end of wherever the current week may be. So starting off the day with some sumo deadlifts, I found like my positioning here was a lot better. I'm really trying to sit back into my heels, get my back straight. As part of that though, I'm doing a double overhand grip with sumo just because it feels better. I probably should do hook grip. I just haven't practiced it, and I was losing my grip towards the end of these reps. So for the very last one, I switched to a mixed grip. But overall, I was pretty happy with how these went. From there, moved on to some incline presses. Again, I had been feeling good with these. I talked to Garrett about it because I've been noticing that a lot of my benching, at least the accessory work, has felt pretty light. So between the incline and all the close grip work that I've been doing for the most part, and even the Spoto pressing, I feel like I should be doing either some more volume or more intensity. And again, that's probably on me a little bit to update the sheet accordingly. That way next block it sees that it was too easy and it adjusts accordingly. From there, moved on to some safety bar squats. So day one is always a little bit tough between deadlifts, benching, and then these sets of 10 on safety bar squats. I'm really trying to stay more upright on these though, and again, slowly add weight to them. Really happy with how these go, and like I said, I love using this Elite FTS bar. Hopefully you guys jumped on that sale that they had this week, which was like $325 for the bar with free shipping, which is a huge savings because Elite FTS is usually pretty pricey when it comes to shipping, and the bar is normally like $400. That was a deal that hopefully you guys jumped on if you were interested. Next day here, doing some bench press. So this is just my only standard regular bench press during the course of the week. Everything else is close grip or incline work or Spoto pressing. And this felt pretty good. It got tough towards the end here. This last set, I think I ended up doing 4 sets or so with 112.5 kilos. So that one was a little bit more tough. But again, overall bench has been going really well. I feel like my tempo squats have also gotten a lot better. One of the things that I probably noticed is that for these tempo squats, it's actually not too far off of my normal squat speed. I like to kind of slow myself down going into the hole because I find if I just rush into it, I get a little bit loose and sloppy. And no one likes loose and sloppy going into the hole. And then I lose some back tightness and I feel like I'm all over the place and I feel like my knees don't track as well. So that's one of the things that I'm trying to do. But at the same time, I am trying to adhere to this tempo squat, which is 3 seconds down, 1 second in the hole, then 1 second exploding out of the hole, and those felt pretty good. And I thought this shirt summed up how I typically feel. And for those of you who can't read it, it says, "Everything feels heavy and I feel like I'm dying." I thought that was pretty fitting. Some floor presses here, some close grip work. These burn my triceps, although you would never be able to tell because it doesn't even look like I have triceps, but that's okay. A lot of close grip work, both on the regular flat bench and on the floor. Hopefully this is going to help translate to my bench feeling better overall, along with some other things I'm doing. Like you saw the incline already. You'll also see some shoulder pressing right here. Speak of the devil. Hopefully some of this other stuff helps me with my overall bench press. It's been tough to tell where my bench is at this point just because I'm benching so frequently that the intensity is typically a little bit lower. But as I said, one of the things that I've noticed is, again, that my bench has been feeling pretty good, and I feel like I need to go heavier on this program. So we'll see how it adjusts in the third block. Now what you're seeing is on Thursday, and this is my actual squat session. So if you can kind of look, it's really kind of a controlled descent. Obviously, it's not as slow as the tempo squats, but I felt these moved pretty good. I actually put my fatigue a little bit higher this day because my hips tend to get really tight towards the third squatting day of the week. But overall, really happy with how these moved. And it's starting to get a little bit warmer where I can finally wear a tank top. Although typically I don't like to do this when squatting because it can tear up my back a little bit. But my Ohio Power Bar isn't as rough on my skin as the Kabuki Power Bar. So I went with that on that particular day. And I feel like I'm rehashing myself here. There's nothing much to say with these close grip bench presses, so it is what it is. Also, as I mentioned last week, trying to do some more of these Romanian style deadlifts. I tend to wear my heels on these just because I squat early. I don't feel like changing my shoe. I also feel like this allows me to get a little bit better stretch in my hamstrings. Again, I'm just trying to go down to the point where I start to feel my back round and maybe my shoulders come too far forward. And what I'm really trying to do here is just push my hips through the bar. And that's one of the things that I've been struggling with, but just trying to engage those glutes and hamstrings and really pull myself through and snap through like you would in a normal deadlift. Moving on here to some pull-ups. One of the things I introduced this week was weights. So typically the last couple of weeks I've just been doing body weights, been feeling pretty good doing sets of 10. And rather than do more than a set of 10, I just decided to add on some weights. So added on 10 kilos here. Not extremely happy about my range of motion, but again, it is what it is. I don't really care because it's an accessory movement, just something for me to make a mental note of for next week. And then the last day of the training cycle, I should say, had a really bad day overall. A lot of stuff going on with work and some other things, and I felt like I tweaked my back moving some furniture around. So it was really hard for me to set up in a bench, and I decided to just do away with the 1-inch pause deadlifts like I was supposed to do, and just did the bench work and called it a day. And that's one of the things about being hopefully a smarter lifter is you live to lift another day. That being said, we'll talk to you guys next time. As always, thanks for watching and stay big.